It's been an incredible season for Arsenal, but despite all of their efforts to date, there is still a chance that they could 2023-24 empty-handed. Manchester City are right on their tails at the top of the Premier League with a game in hand, and if Pep Guardiola's side win all of their remaining fixtures, then they will be crowned champions for a fourth consecutive year. Whether they end the season as winners or not, though, the Gunners are certain to make improvements to solidify their status as consistent title contenders for years to come. And the main way they are set to do that is by dipping their hand back into the transfer market. Two players that Arsenal have been linked with are Newcastle duo Bruno Guimaraes and Alexander Isak. Two of the English top flight's finest in their respective positions. And going off their performances in the Magpies' 4-1 win against Burnley, the North London club should certainly make them both priorities when the transfer window opens. Isak and Guimaraes were excellent against Burnley, both players scored in Newcastle win. Eddie Howe's side wasted little time in making their presence felt at Turf Moor on Saturday afternoon, taking the lead through Callum Wilson after Isak saw his toe poke denied by Ari Janet Muric. And after Sean Longstaff doubled the visitors' advantage, Guimaraes added a third, coolly slotting a shot past the Burnley keeper. At one point, it looked as if it wasn't going to be Isak's day. Especially when he saw a penalty saved early in the second half. But the Swedish striker, determined to make his mark on proceedings, capitalized on a cutback from Jacob Murphy to eventually get his goal, but their performances went beyond goals and assists. Isak was a constant menace throughout, and his mental toughness was on full display in the game as he refused to let two big missed chances get to him. Managing 3 shots on target, he could have walked away with a hat-trick on another day. Guimaraes, too, was incredibly impressive, working tirelessly in defense and attack. No Newcastle player completed more defensive actions during the game than the Brazilian, and nobody on the pitch made more tackles. There aren't many box-to-box midfielders currently better than the Newcastle man in the league right now. Isak would solve Arsenal's striker conundrum perfectly. Stats show he's ahead of Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus. If there is one position that Arsenal really need to address, it's their striker. While Kai Havertz has looked impressive in recent weeks and has led the line well at points, he's not an out-and-out centre-forward. And with Gabriel Jesus' future at the Emirates unclear presently, the Gunners will certainly be in the market for a new number 9. Isak is one man that they have been linked with in recent weeks, and it's easy to understand why. 20 goals in the league in 27 starts makes for impressive reading, and he's up there with the likes of Ollie Watkins, Ivan Toney, and Erling Haaland when it comes to the best strikers currently in the top flight, and his stats during the course of the season also compare very favorably to Arsenal's other forwards. He records a higher conversion rate and goals per 90 stats than both Jesus and Havertz, highlighting his proven goal-scoring ability in the Premier League. The numbers, the talent, the goals. It's little surprise to see that The Independent are reporting that Isak is top of Mikel Arteta's wish list for the summer. It could take a sizable bid to lure him away from St James Park, but one that would definitely be worth the outlay. Guimaraes would bring further quality to Gunners' midfield. Brazilian could be the perfect partner for Declan Rice. The same point, arguably, can be made for Guimaraes, who also won't come cheap. The Gunners are known to be fans of the Brazilian and, according to the Telegraph, are set to battle it out with Manchester City to secure his signature. His release clause is supposedly £100 million, and while a striker is likely the priority, Guimaraes could be the perfect player to line up alongside Declan Rice. Both are capable ball winners who like to get forward, and they each have bags of energy. Looking at the numbers, there is not much to separate them either. While Rice performs better in shooting stats as well as clearances and interceptions, Guimaraes is ahead for chances created, tackles and ground duels. Purchasing the dogged midfielder could, therefore, take some of the defensive responsibility off the shoulders of Rice, giving him more freedom to pop up with goals like he did against Bournemouth. A midfield pivot, with Martin Odegaard in front of it, would arguably be the best in the league. And if Arsenal can ensnare Isak too, then you would make them early title favourites for 2024-25.